Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Today we are playing some more Stormworks Build and Rescue. So we're back at the oil rig, and I know what you're saying. Wow, haven't you planted this thing? I have, yep. And I've tapped this hole about 5 or 6 times, and we're going to do it again. So what I did last time was I was testing out the vents. These vents work in the chambers with the gas filter and the obviously in and out. But what I also did is I added filters to these chambers so they would fill up faster. And what I noticed is that as soon as you allow air in here where the oil is, it won't refine at all. It won't do anything. It'll fill up with oil and that's it. It'll just sit there. So we can't have, unfortunately, filters in here. So I guess the only way to get over that is, as I discovered yesterday with the air pressures, these regular pumps just aren't, well, I say that, but I don't say that. These pumps should be sufficient. They're slow, but they should be sufficient. But what we're going to do is we're going to upgrade these pumps to, we're going to upgrade them to these bigger pumps. Right, so all I've done is, like I say, I have a threshold gate here, which I'm using, and that keeps the, basically, it measures the volume in here, and I have it set to about 300, so there's always going to be a minimum of 300 units of oil inside. I was just watching a tutorial from another YouTuber, and he seemed to, that's how he had his connected. I tried it. Yeah, it worked pretty good. So it's a decent amount. I haven't had to change it. Haven't had any issues. Right, so that's step number 1. And step number 2, we're going to be adding additional pumps to the inside of these tanks so I can drain them faster. So now that I've had a chance to plant the rig and play with it, you know, work out the bugs, this is where we're at. I could confidently say that this will be the final, should be the final revision of the first oil rig. Now it's going to be a little more expensive. Probably the total bill will be about $100,000. But that's what I was saying initially. I was hoping to not go beyond that. That was basically my budget maximum. My budget maximum. Thankfully, it's not that laggy in the... it's not slow for me in the editor, but when I spawn this in, it's going to be really slow. So I was getting a little worried there because I wasn't able to despawn the rig. And you remember we had that, they updated it and made it so we could despawn the rigs, right? Because of the vehicle issues or whatever. But then I loaded it in and I came to check on it and I wasn't able to despawn it. And then I've looked through my save files. Fortunately, I had a save file which was with the update, but all the other save files I couldn't despawn it, and I was like, oh no, maybe I'll be stuck. I'll be stuck with what I got. Right, so I've added vents to the slurry and the water tanks. These are good. All this stuff works. You'll see eventually. And then this is where we can refill it. I might end up changing these pumps around eventually. Right, but so what I did is I brought the twin steer out here, okay? I made a trailer for the twin steer. I'll show that later. So we can have one bin here and one bin here. So essentially what I'll do is I'll come out to the rig in my small tanker, which will change over and make it look a little bit better. And what we'll do with the small tanker is going to provide the fuel to the furnaces so we can refine the diesel, and then eventually what I'll have to do is I'll have to diesel into the tanker from the tanker into here. Because the pressure issues that we're having inside the chamber, we just can't siphon enough diesel off. So that way we can run these, right? You see, I had it siphoned off in the chamber. Before the pressure issues, it would feed off itself and it would just work forever. But now because there's pressure building up in here and we're having less oil is being fed in than what is being drawn out. And it'll probably remain that way for a while. So unfortunately, I'll have to get rid of this. But when you're at the rigs, right, all it means is that when you're at the rigs, you'll have to be at the rig, you know, when you're doing production, instead of like running missions, and which is what I was doing, right? I was running missions, and then I was remember I was saying that I wanted to have a radio here, so that way we can, when the bins are full, I could just use the radio and it would tell me, and I could come here and empty it. Unfortunately, until I figure out more of the pressure issues, and here it won't be on this rig. It might be on our second rig or our third rig that I figure out how to figure this out, right? Like I might have to have a pump up top that just pumps out gas. It just exhausts gas, which will allow, you know what I mean, pressures and all that kind of stuff, right? It probably have to do something like that. Long story short. All right. So we're disconnecting that, and we are just connecting these. I guess I could go over these. I'll go over these real quickly, just so we understand. So essentially, we have a furnace. All right. We have our starter for the furnace. Remember, once we add fuel to the furnace, there's no way to shut it off. That's fine. In the furnace, you have your coolant in and your coolant out. All this does is cycles the oil that's inside the chamber and keeps it warm, right? Once the furnace is at, I think it's 317 degrees is what we determined, then we're able to get diesel and jet fuel. So, yeah, that's all that does. And then these pumps here just draw from the chamber. So what I've done is I have one threshold here, which basically says once there's 300 units of, once the heat in here gets to 300, then these pumps turn on and they start to siphon any of the diesel and the jet fuel that is refined in here, right? Which we get automatically. Once you heat up the oil, you start to get jet fuel and diesel. That's basically how that, such a simple process. And then what I notice is that when these turn on, obviously the chambers, you know, they fill up a bit faster because we're drawing out liquids and stuff. But that'll be something for some food for thought. Right, so I was out here with the truck, just playing around. I made a little bit of fuel and I tried to empty these bins. And it was going pretty slow. So what I want to do is I want to add some additional export capacity. And then I just want to add a few more lights around the rig. Yeah, like I said, I have a new GPU on the way. So hopefully when I get the newer GPU, I shouldn't have any issues. You know, the video card I have now it's old. It's the GeForce. It's just a 1650, right? It's a 4 gigabyte card. It worked with the base game. But I noticed that as soon as I got the industrial DLC, the new island and the big structures really started hammering my video card. And I was like, okay, I better get another one, you know, because I enjoy the game and I want to keep playing, right? So, and I've got this game basically in potato quality, and it's still telling me, no, you need to upgrade. So that's why I'm kind of confident that if I add a few more lights to this, we're going to be okay. Even with the new GPU, we'll be just fine. The new GPU isn't anything fantastic. I'll reveal that when I get it. It's a bit of an upgrade from this card, and it should be okay. It should be okay to run this game in medium quality no matter what. With better frame rate, which I'm excited about. It means, well, I'll be able to put out better quality videos. So yeah, so what I'm doing is I'm just adding some red lights to this one, and I just wanted to add. I'm not sure how I want this part to work. Right, we're exporting fuel on this side. So basically our bins will come in and our bins will sit here. So I mean, if I could set up a station here. Let's see, and I want to let's see if we can think about this. I still want to have these big winches, just because it's all about reach, right? With these winches, we're able to reach and that's what we want. If for whatever reason I come out here with a different vehicle and I want to get the oil and I don't want to have to use the cranes, let's say, for whatever reason, right? I bring a truck which doesn't have the modular system, which likely will happen. I get lazy or whatever. I still want to be able to fill it up in a semi decent way. So then I'll explain this, a little bit of food for thought. If you are, anytime you're running through these winches, you gotta use pumps. You need to have a pump connected to the winch. Otherwise, nothing is gonna happen, right? If we were drawing directly from here, every time you have a hose connection, you need to have a pump. So, something like this. All right, and then the black knob on the back side, that is your in. Always going to be your in. And then, of course, this is our fluid out. So what I'll do is I just do this. Right, and we still have plenty of room. Our bin sits here. So we still have plenty of room here. This is kind of like a little work surface underneath the crane. Yeah, I'm excited. I still haven't got any fuel. I have tons of fuel sitting at the base, but I haven't actually got any fuel off of this yet. It produces, but it goes in stages, right? First you have to design the rig. Then you gotta see if it can drill a hole. Okay, then it drills the well. Then you have to see if it can refine. Okay, then it can refine. Then you have to work on the exporting. How do I export fuel from the rig, right? Now I could just set it up like this. So I can pull up here and, we're done. Right, I can pull up here and now I can just export from the rig and I don't have to do anything else. But I don't want to do that, right? Because eventually what we're going to do is we are going to have several bases across the map. Ideally, that's what I'd like to do, so I can run missions all over the map. Some are going to be accessible by rail, some are going to be accessible by air, and some are going to be accessible by truck. So where this bin system is going to work out really well is I have the aircraft, which I'll now be able to convert to use these bins. I have trucks that I've converted to use these bins. And once I unlock rail, I'll be building more rail cars, which are also going to be accepting these bins. And that way, the rail line that's there, I'll be able to come in with the train, fill it up if I want to. Just really play around, right? Just play around with the game, right? Which is what I want to do. So that is the end goal. Right, so this here Now I'm thinking this is backwards. I should be feeding into these from the tanks. And then I should be using this side to export. Let's see here. I got away talking too much there, and I just. This is our out. That's our in. So it's flowing this way. So it should be flowing into. Yeah, let me turn these around. It should be flowing into the. Whatever I'm trying to say here. Should be flowing. In. We want it to flow in instead of out. Into the winches. From the bin. That's right. Right, so there's two ways I can do this. I can have a valve, which allows me to connect the jet fuel and the diesel. The only problem with that is that when you mix two fuels in a single line, you are going to contaminate your tanks. There's always going to be a little bit of jet fuel left in the line. So we have to do this individually. One set of pumps is going to be for diesel, and we'll need a second set of pumps just for our jet fuel. So now that I've set that up, as you can see, I'm still a lot of thought, you know, things to consider. So first and foremost, let's do this. 1, 2, 3. Now this is our main. This is our main entryway into the rig. Do that. So that way we can cross over there. No, I'm gonna rerun this. All these pipes, I'm gonna rerun now. Yeah, let's just do that instead. We'll rerun all these pipes here. As I was saying, now that I've had a chance to walk around and figure out how all this looks and how it interacts with itself. Right, we come up here, we enter here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're gonna make just this a 1x4. There we go. Then everything kind of needs to be up and out of the way, and then we have to consider that. So this side here, I don't know. Originally, I wanted one side to be jet fuel and one side to be diesel. So what that means is probably above the batteries here. Yeah, probably above the batteries. This is where we'll have our, I don't know what you want to call it. This one will come back one. Our export station, I guess, or yeah, I mean, there's many ways you can do it. I could just get oil and just store the oil, and then we could bring out a vehicle and refine what we need whenever we need to. All right, I actually think this is going to work. Okay, so from here, see. So I want the winches. Oh, that's actually kind of nice. Oh, we can't because of the batteries. Let's bring this in one, just so it's kind of works. I've been doing lots of research, lots of things. I discovered that you can use with the radio inside a train. You can use that to switch tracks too. So there's going to be a lot of upgrades still to come with our rail infrastructure. Do I want this out one or do I want it in one? Let's put it in one, and then that way we can have the batteries. Or not the batteries. We can have the buttons. Right, and so now we can take our pumps, and let's just see, this is our fluid in and fluid out. So we want fluid to go in and then out to the that might. Yeah, we want fluid to go out to here and draw from the tanks. And of course, one's going to be diesel and one is going to be jet fuel. Which that was the mistake I made with my offshore oil rig. Not being able to, I was contaminating. I was mixing the two, so. So now from here, where do we draw? Like, we can't get in the way of this, right? That's all has to move up and down. And we want it to be at least 8. At least 8. So it's above our heads. I know, I'm really hoping this is going to be like the last hey, I'm editing the oil rig again video that I've put up, because I put up quite a few. But I don't think so. I think we're going to be doing more when we plant the second one. You know, there's always... What I do is I build it, and then I play with it. As you can see from the videos, I'll spend 10 hours, 12 hours, 20 hours playing with it, interacting with it, doing all sorts of things. And that's how I discovered this works, this doesn't work. What else, you know, just having fun, right? So if we, let's see here, 1, 2, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We can do that. And then that way we can walk right underneath it. We don't have to worry about it being above our heads. And essentially we just do something like this. I know it doesn't matter the height of these fluid things in the tank. They could be at the top of the tank and we'll still be able to exhaust all the liquid that's in it. Thank you, developers. That's fantastic. Now, myself, I like to, you know, put them in the bottom, whatever. Probably doesn't matter. Yeah, so if we come out here, like that, and you know what? This is going to be actually right on top of that, I think. So we just have to be, it's the crane. The crane moves up and down, forwards and backwards. So we could actually come up to here. Oh, no, we couldn't. We have to come this way. We have to come around. And I have to make sure there's clearance around the ladder. So maybe something like that. we also have to make sure that this 1, 2, 3, it's actually going to have to come right down to here. Where are we here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 10 brings us to, oh, that's good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 will bring us to there. Something like that. It'd be nice to shift that in 1. There we go. And then this can just, whoops. Something like that. And that way this tank should drain super fast. It does work with these vents. It does work. I was testing the rates of flow and all that, and it actually does help a lot. Like I say, I just put the gas filter on there and then just have a direct connection. I tried it without the filter, and I was drilling away, and I'm like, hey, what's happening to my oil? Where's all my oil going? And then I come up here and I see it's just spilling out everywhere. So yeah, make sure you don't do that. So actually from here we can cut this back a little bit here. What do we need to be up? Up 1. Is that gonna let me? All right, that should let me come right across here. All right. Oh, it should be back 1. Yeah, so just something like this is perfect. Right, now we have our export center set up. Which is fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Oh, this comes that way 1. There we go. Right, now we're out of the way of the crane. We're out of the way of this guy, he should be able to come right down. Yeah, he should be able to come right down, actually. Right, that was my concern, was... Oh yeah, there's plenty of clearance there, plenty of clearance. Cool. All right. Oh, let's come one more. Yeah, I've been playing around and I built the twin steer truck. Like I say, I put a trailer on it, so that way it can carry both bins. I didn't really want to make a crane for it because I feel like the crane is going to get in the way, and really all that truck is it goes to the rig, fills up with fuel, and then it goes back to base. You know. Just a service vehicle. All right, so let's get this hooked up here. Right, so I what I did is I found a save that allowed me to despawn the oil rig. And then I just saved it there, just in case. I haven't done any mission running. I haven't spent any money. Haven't done any research since we initially came to the site and did our setup. Haven't done any real progress since then. And that's just because I wanted to make sure that this works and this functions before I go any further in the game. If I have to restart or whatever, not restart, but if I have to backtrack, that would not be cool. And I know I had it set up before where it was working, but I only had one small pump in here. That was it. And I thought, man, you know, it's going to take a million years to export any fuel off of this thing. And I just would like that process to be a little bit faster. So this here is actually going to make that process real. It's going to speed that up by quite a bit, thankfully. Yeah, just some, you know, those are things that I've tested with the pressure issues that we're having. Yes, I can vent the tanks, but still, you know, we're still going to be at a loss of a little bit, you know. So, all right, now we need to hook up the bottoms, which I think are. That one, and that one. All right, and then here, should be that one. Yeah, cool. And then after this, essentially, we'll pretty much have everything we need to start. We've got the airplanes, we've got the train, we've got the ships. You know, they all need work. Everything needs a little bit of work for sure. But we have all the technology, almost all the technology and equipment that we need to really, you know, now it's going to be building the heavy equipment. Okay, so now what we'll do is, let's see. In, out, in, out, in, out. And then we'll just pump. 1, 2, 3. Same with this side. In, out, in, out, out, and then we want our pump. 1, 2, 3. All right, then what I'll do is I'll have, let's see, where do we want these guys here? Let's see, maybe something like that. And then a couple of first aid kits just to make up for the gap there. I don't have any of that. I don't have any fire extinguishers, any fire suppression equipment on this. It's probably not the safest rig at the moment. All that stuff costs money too. It adds. Yeah, so we're at 100,000 now for the rig, which is pretty well where I wanted to be. Okay, let's get all the let's get all the electrical connected here. Yeah, and it was a good thing I was able to despawn it because none of the electricity was hooked up to the pumps that I had inside the containers. So I would have been able to fill up the containers, but I wouldn't have been able to export anything. All right, so then we just got to do this. The bins have 3 imports and 3 outports on them also. It just seems to be the way she goes. All right. Holy, what a mess. So in is up, out is down. Out is down, and then let's see here. We want pump. Pump. Yeah, I mean, there's again, there's many ways to set up these stations. Could have a microcontroller. I could use a vehicle seat. Perfect. There it is. There's our export center. Now, we want to, let's see here. That is one thing about this game. Are they on the same level? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Instead of 10. Oh well. It is what it is. The testing, right, is like that's a big part of Stormworks. It's the testing. And I mean there's just no end really. Sometimes it feels like that. Sometimes there's no end to the amount of testing that you'll need to do. You know, and you still never able to get all the thoughts. All right, there we go. So that is the diesel connected to this side. And now we are going to take care of the jet fuel, which I'm just going to do this here. Save myself. Right, then I'll be ready to drill again. If I had to count how many times I've drilled this hole, I'd say I'm probably at about 5 now. This would be like number 6. Yeah, and that's just because, well, it's the testing. There's so much testing that needs to be done. That you drill the hole and then there's a problem on the production side. So now you have to fix the error on the production side, drill the hole, wait for oil, see if it works. Oh, there's another error. Okay, shut down the operation, right? Re-drill the hole. What am I doing here? Right, restart the operation. So I've done that, several times. It is what it is. Unfortunately, that's what we have to do to make sure everything's going to work, right? All right. Alrighty. And now I need to hook up these oil pipes here, which is probably what we'll do is we'll come right above. Here we just need one. Just need one pump. One pump feeding the system is plenty. Or they've already got the pumps there. So. Let's see, what can I do? For these ones, probably something. Something like that, except let's see here, how do we want that? I guess it can split like that. Yeah, that can work. And then this one here can just come across. Alrighty, alrighty. Yeah, the ocean platform, same thing. It took me so many hours. A long time to get that up and running. Okay, so that's that. Now we have our oil, and now we have our export center. So I'm going to save this. We have two. We got our starter one, and then we have our vented one. I don't know why I have both saved. And then I'll turn those lights on. I am going to, for safety, get rid of that. For whatever reason, I'm still kind of getting issues, so I'll spawn this in. It's going to be real slow. You can see. Oh, yeah. No sound in the game right now, which is all right. So we'll come in here. Oh, yeah. I like it. Oh, is there a light? We have our lights here. There's lights down below. The lights down below are just, they don't really work at night, but it's just so that way when I can see when to clamp the pipe. Right? I can see it coming through, and then I can come back up and clamp it. You need to have the table clamped in order to get the oil. So I know you may not need the table to drill. You just need the slurry. You can have just this guy, I think, and the slurry. I tested it out, and it'll actually drill a pipe. But in order to get the oil and strike the oil, you have to have the rotary table, and it has to be connected to the pipe. Otherwise, nada. Unfortunately. Otherwise, nada. Yeah, that'll work. Right, and then so what we'll do is I'm going to be using this truck. We're going to change this truck around just a little bit, modify the tank so it looks a little more round instead of square. I'll bring that truck out. I'll connect it here. We'll do the production. Once these tanks are full, or whatever, close to full, or, you know, we got 10, 20, 30,000. I think the 32,000 is our limit on these tanks, which isn't too bad. They're about the size of a shipping container. And then my modular tanks are about half that. They're only about 18 or 19,000, which again is okay, because when I was doing all my estimates for Stormworks, it seems like 20,000 as far as container size is ideal. So when you're designing your vehicles, your trucks, your trailers, all that kind of stuff, you want to make sure that you can hold an average of 20,000. An average of 20,000. Whatever's units of liquid, and that's anything, oil, whatever. It just seems to be that the way the numbers work out seems to be the way that the numbers work out. And then this is just going to be red lights for the overhead lights there. Yeah, I've done a lot of research, a lot of estimating, and as far as that goes, oops. as far as that goes. It seems like 20,000 seems to be your ideal. Works out well. On the small range. Now when you get into the upper range, it's a lot more. Like the ship that which ship is that? This one here, our subcarrier. Now that can hold about 600,000 liters of fuel. So I don't quite know. Probably going to be all the fuel I get out of the desert, all the diesel we get. But I probably could sail to the Arctic from here with that amount of fuel. Yeah, that's going to be our tanker. I'm going to be converting because I have, where is it here? I got all these rough builds, right? I have our tanker 2, a refinery tanker that I kind of, this thing, right? Our tanker thing. And then what I did is I made it deeper so we could hold a lot more, and that's just a work in progress as well. Right, so fuel, still thinking about the whole oil supply chain, fuel supply chain, what we're going to do with it. Now that should be it. That should be it. As you can see, I plugged the chambers so they can't vent. I plugged them so they can't vent. Maybe I'll... let's just do this. Cap them. All right, now what I need to do is I need to drill. I'm wondering if I should vent this. Right, if I don't put a filter on that, a liquid filter on here, there we go. Oh, and I might have to do the same for here. Right, and that way it's not going to draw any gas. It's not going to draw any gases out. This didn't seem to matter. Those chambers didn't seem to matter, but in here I just don't want. I just want it to draw fluid. Okay, so now what we'll do is let's spawn these containers full of seawater, and we'll just test. Here, let's save this. Now I'm gonna get rid of that one just so I don't. Whoops. Oh, I crashed. Oh, okay. Well, that'll do it for this video. Thanks for watching. Let me see here. Let's get Stormworks going again. Crashy, crashy. Wow, we're already at an hour for this video. Okay. I wonder if that was because of the sound. Oh yeah, that's window mode. full screen. See, it drops my resolution right down. It's like, hey man, I don't know if you can handle this. Oh, did I hope it's saved? That's why you save often, right? It's important to save often, just in case this kind of stuff happens. That's the first time I've had that issue. My fault. When I start the game, and then sometimes I'll start Streamlabs, what it'll do is I'll have my microphone muted, and then I'll turn the microphone off from muted, and it won't pick up the mic, so I have to unplug my headset because it's a USB headset and plug it back in, and then what that does is I get no sound in Stormworks. So sometimes it conflicts with Stormworks in that way, and then the game will just crash, obviously, because there was sound and now there's no sound. Yeah, food for thought, I guess. So what I'm going to do now is, and we're right back here. Oh no. Oh, we have the auto save. Dare I? All right, looks like. It auto saved before I added the button. And now this is the save after I added the button. All right. I didn't add the filters. Okay, so let's add the filters here. So all I'm doing with this, liquid relief valve. Like I say, we're going to fill this up with water, and then I'm going to turn on the pumps, and I'm just going to connect the hose, and I'm going to spray the water, and I just want to see what we're looking at for. All right, so let's. I suppose it doesn't matter. I'll just save it just in case it crashes again. It shouldn't this time. All right. Yeah, it's so slow. The GPU is crying. I don't want to do it. Don't make me. And I'll leave this video card as like a backup just in case. Okay, so I think those are connected. I'll go through and I'll have to, when I drill. Oh yeah, see, look, those fill up almost instantly. Awesome. You see that? Because we have the good. So what do I want to do here? Let's turn on the lights. Let's check those lights. Yeah, that's cool. That's just for the airplanes and whatever. Let's turn on the lights because it's dark. Let's get a hose. Let's plug it in. We'll turn on the pump. Oh, look at that. You can see how fast it's draining. Oh, no, we can't. All right, it's a good thing I did that. Oh, you know why? They're saying 0? Because water. So let's do that real quickly. The composite I have it set up on the channels. So let me just find out what channel water is, and then I'll change the channel over. Water is channel 1, and I better make sure these are all on fresh water. Let me just go in here, edit the microcontroller, and this here be channel 1. This way we can sort of get an estimate on what how fast we're going to be able to fill up our containers. So now I was watching some YouTube there, and I see there's some people, they were just trying to sell fuel, and they were having that issue where it was going exceptionally slow. So I think hopefully they'll figure out, they'll get their stuff together. Let's see. Yeah, 32,000 is our maximum. Is our maximum on here? So if I plug that in and I turn on the pump, and now we're exiting. Obviously, look at the pressure. There's so much pressure coming off of that. There. That's how fast one pump is draining. So you can imagine all three going. Probably sit here for 10 minutes. And we might be able to drain a fair amount. Oh, it's slowing down. Yeah, that's all right. For me, that's okay. Other people, they might want it a bit faster. And that's only a single pump, right? 32,000. We've already drained almost 1,000 units. That's a fairly fast pace. That'll work for me. Awesome. Okay. So there you have it. We've got our pumps set up. They're set up. Oh, let's check this. Let's check the other side. Always gotta check both sides. Don't want to make assumptions. Yeah, I see that initial pressure. And then it starts to slow down right away. So probably what I'll do is I'll add a barometer inside so I can check the pressure inside the tank just to see what happens when it gets low. But I imagine there's going to be a little bit left in the tank that we're not going to be able to get access to. But at this point, it's all free, right? So I'm okay with that. Yeah, see, it's already starting to slow down. Nice. Cool. That's a lot faster than what I had. A single small pump. I would have been sitting here for like 2 or 3 hours just to try and drain these tanks, and I'm just not interested in that. That's just, way too much work. All right. All right, well, I'm glad that's that. That seems to be all set up. So now what I can do is I can turn this back to there, and let's return the composite. So oil is 6, jet fuel is 3, and diesel is 2. So this should be 6. Jet fuel is 3. And diesel is 2. Let's confirm that. Diesel's 2, jet fuel's 3, oil is 6. Absolutely fantastic. All right, well, I think that'll do it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. We have modified the rig, and we are now ready, finally, to plant it. I'll plant it, I'll drill, and I'll report on the results. See if I run into any hiccups, any changes that need to be made. Yeah, I mean, we're still testing, right? We're still in the testing phase. My hope is maybe within the next day or so, Monday, Tuesday, I'll be able to plant this thing, drill, and we'll finally be able to start exporting fuel. We're really close. Like I say, I'm just trying to work out any of the final bugs. Just trying to work out any of the final kinks that I could think of that would stop me from exporting any of the oil at a decent clip, right? Because I came here and I'm like, oh man, this is way too slow. I had a bin here and I'm unloading it and I'm just counting one. I thought, no, we got to do something about that. Okay, so yeah, so the vents seem to work. We have our station. We're set up. In theory, we're able to drill. Get rid of that also. Fantastic. Well, again, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys are having a wonderful weekend, wonderful holidays coming up. I know Christmas is coming. Got lots of baking and stuff to do. I'm sure you guys have lots of things to do as well. So thank you very much. Take care. Enjoy your day. And we will see you in the next one. Bye-bye for now.